Hey Bobcats! I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning because I had to get on a plane and go to Salt Lake City, and now I am here at a town called Moose, Wyoming, and I'm at Grand Teton National Park. There are 3 famous peaks in the Grand Tetons, and that's what the whole Teton Range and Grand Teton National Park are named for. I didn't stay there long, but when I was there, I saw a lot of sage, which is a plant. I'm here at Yellowstone National Park, the first national park in the whole world, and I'm going to go inside and see all that I can see. I'm here at Fountain Paint Pots, and I'm going to take a look at some of the geothermal features that are here. Yellowstone contains the largest concentrated area of geothermic activity on Earth. What does geothermic mean? Well, geo means the Earth, and thermic has to do with heat. So it's pretty much where there is a lot of heat coming from the Earth. One kind of geothermic activity is a hot spring. The underground magma heats up water deep below the surface of the Earth. By the time it gets up to where we can see it, it is still super hot. Be careful, you could fall in and get boiled. The crazy colors you see in the hot springs are because of bacteria. Lots and lots of bacteria. Certain kinds of bacteria like different temperatures. Right behind me is the Grand Prismatic Springs. Can you see all the different colors? There's the blue and the yellow and the orange. The orange part is because of bacteria, which are single-celled organisms. And so these guys right here are called extremophiles because they can live in extreme temperatures. So it's actually really warm here still. So you don't want to step in there, but these little organisms can live in there. Isn't that amazing? Not only do hot springs create homes for bacteria, they also made these beautiful steps, called terraces, by depositing minerals in many layers. The Liberty Cap is another place where a geyser left layers of minerals higher and higher until it formed this rock cone and this fishing cone, even though this one's in a lake. A mud pot is another geothermic feature. It's pretty much what its name suggests, a pot of mud, but it isn't made from rain and dirt. Acidic hot springs break down the surrounding rock into tiny pieces, making the water look muddy. No trip to Yellowstone would be complete without geysers. Geysers are formed when there is a pocket of hot water below the surface of the Earth. Normally, it would just rise to the surface as a steaming hot spring, but instead of a wide tunnel up to the ground, there is just a very thin tunnel that doesn't allow the hot water to escape. That's why geysers often just look like hot springs. This is a minor eruption of Castle Geyser, which erupts about every 13 hours, so I'm really lucky that I got to see it. As more and more heat and pressure build up underground, the water eventually has to go somewhere, and that's when the geyser erupts. I also got to see Old Faithful, Yellowstone's most famous geyser, erupt exactly as predicted at 10:07. If you want to check it out, the park has a live webcam at their website. Geothermic features aren't the only sights to see here.
This behind you is a waterfall that's part of the Yellowstone River, and behind me is a canyon. Do you know what a canyon is? It's land that's carved out by a river and it creates a V shape.
In addition to waterfalls, there are many interesting rock formations, such as the towers carved by water at Tower Falls, and the columnar basalt that looks like someone lined up a bunch of blocks in the mountain. Gibbon Falls is right on the edge of a caldera. Caldera is a Spanish word that means cauldron. It is kind of like a cooking pot, full of magma. When there is too much magma inside, it explodes like a giant volcano. As I've been walking around Yellowstone, I've been noticing that there are a lot of different heights of trees. I see some short trees that look like they're growing really healthily, and then I see these really tall trees that look like they're dead, and I wonder to myself, why is that happening? I found out that there was a huge fire here in 1988 that affected over a third of the park. The tall dead trunks are what is left of many of the trees that burned here so long ago. The smaller, greener trees are what has grown back since then. Scientists and park rangers have since learned that fire plays a big part of a healthy forest here in Yellowstone. The lodgepole pines, in fact, need fire to release their seeds from their cones. I saw more than trees and wildflowers, like this Nootka rose. At Lahardy's Rapids, I even spotted some cutthroat trout. Do you see them camouflaged in the water below? It took a sharp eye to notice them, even when they were right in front of me. Here's one. Did you see it? Camouflage is important for many organisms living in Yellowstone. It took me a while to see some of the animals I came across.
It just seems that upstream I keep rolling. Still got such a long way to go. Still got.
Okay, some of the animals I saw weren't so hard to spot. While mothers and calves live together in herds all the time, male bison only join the herd during mating season. Otherwise, they wander around on their own. That often means causing traffic jams on the roads or just hanging out in places I wouldn't expect to find a bison. Since it was summer, I saw not only bison calves, but elk calves as well. They had spots just like baby deer. Like bison, elk mothers and babies live separately from male elk. Male elk grow antlers every spring and shed them in the winter. Most of the elk I saw didn't have antlers yet, so they must have just started to regrow them. Pronghorns are the fastest land mammals in the Western Hemisphere, reaching speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. But the pronghorns I saw were mixed into a resting herd of bison. Why were they there? Then I saw what they were watching, a black bear. But even though the pronghorns were nervous about seeing the bear, a black bear's diet consists of mostly plants. The animals they do eat are usually insects like bees and ants. However, they are still dangerous, and park rangers recommend staying at least 100 yards away. The most exciting animal I saw in Yellowstone was a grizzly bear. Even though it's on our state flag, there are no more grizzly bears living in the wild in California. I was lucky to see one when I was here. I had a lot of fun visiting Yellowstone, and I can't wait to come back again soon. See you on my next adventure!